Angeles, Crypto.com Arena bringing you LA Kings Live. Pre-game show getting you set for the LA Kings and the San Jose Sharks. Huge game for the Kings when you're looking at the playoff implications. 24 games remain. Dealing with some adversity right now, but hey, that's when young guys come in, get an opportunity, and make the most of it. Making his NHL debut, Jordan Spence. Getting the solo lap, the treatment, mom, dad, sister, girlfriend, all taking it in. Mom and dad, Adam and Kyoko. They have put so much time, energy, and effort into this young man, but Jordan has done the work, and he deserves this moment as Jonathan Quick and the rest of the team hit the ice. Welcome, everybody, with Kings legends Daryl Evans and Jared Stoll.
Patrick's off to a great start.
I know, he's rolling.
I am fired up because I know there's some injuries. We'll talk about it, but this is a big game right now. To have home ice, I want to see the Kings play better on home ice. I know we're going to get into these injuries. Yeah. It's a big game, though.
It is a big game. You see teams around the league that the Kings want to lose, and they are losing. Some of them are finding ways to win some games here and there, but the Vegas Golden Knights, they just lost to the Buffalo Sabres. So the Kings, they start playing a little bit better at home, racking up these home points, and they're gonna be sitting in second place. Hopefully, push Calgary for that division lead.
Mm-hmm. And just a couple of days ago, I actually asked Todd McLellan about taking advantage and what he'd like to see differently on home ice. He'd like to see his team be a little bit more assertive. Make sure that they force the issue early on in a hockey game and not look behind, not to have to chase games. They should be able to dictate what's going on and take advantage of the line changes.
All right, here are the injuries. Now, 3 in a row on the road, and now Drew Doughty is day-to-day. So Brendan Lemieux is week to week. Victor Arvidsson week to week. Mikey Anderson also week to week. And Drew, this guy, it's hard to get him out of the lineup, so it has to be something bothering him. Hopefully he gets back soon. So, Jared, starting with you, convince me that I don't need
that everything is okay?
Yeah, like I can back away from this ledge here.
Hey, it's going to test the organizational depth right now, and a lot of people say that the Kings in the last couple of years have had the first or second ranked depth in the entire NHL. So, you look at a guy like Brendan Lemieux. He plays hard, he plays physical, he fights. I think a guy like Carl Grundstrom coming into the lineup, when he's played really, really well. So he can fill that void a little bit. Victor Arvidsson, Double-A came in last game, and that line looked exactly the same. They were dominant. They put pressure on the Boston Bruins. Mikey Anderson here, and you got a guy like Jacob Mavari coming into the lineup, and he's a guy that plays simple, smart, good defensive hockey.
Yeah, I think when you look at these guys, when you get some injuries and that, of course, you can never replace guys, especially the veteran players. But what it is an opportunity for some of the younger players to come in. They get an opportunity, they get a stage, and sometimes guys will get put into elevated roles. So it's a situation for these guys to shine, and because of the work that the Kings, scouting staff and management has done, they've loaded the shelves nicely. Now it's a chance for these kids to perform.
Elias Anderson, he got healthy, went down to play with the Ontario Reign. He had like 6 goals in 4 games. Boom, he's back up here. So he's getting another chance at the NHL level. But, when you talk about Jordan Spence, first NHL game, Sean Durzi came up. You're just talking about it, just guys coming up and filling that void. So Sean Durzi comes up, and he all of a sudden, he might not play another American Hockey League game in his career.
That's right.
And, I got my career started from an injury, and you never want to hope, an injury on a teammate, but sometimes that happens. Very few times do you make your team out of training camp and just stick. So, for a guy like Jordan Spence, who knows? Is he going to come up? Is he going to dominate? Is he going to be that dynamic player that runs the power play? He's going to be running the second unit. Sean Durzi obviously is going to be running the first unit now that's in the absence of Drew Doughty. So who knows? Jordan Spence, he might not play another American Hockey League game. You just never know in this game.
No, you never know, and he's got a chance, a great opportunity. For guys like that, they come into a good environment. The Kings have played extremely well as of late. So these guys come in to where not a team that is struggling. He's got a chance to just come in and complement what is already going on.
They play the same system and structure with the Ontario Reign, right? They know coming up to the lineup here, and the Kings, they're very, very structured, well coached. These young guys come into the lineup, and it's just they don't miss a beat, right? They already know the system. They know what Todd McLellan expects, and hopefully that Jordan Spence, he can gain the trust of the coaches right away.
I could kind of relate. You got your start with an injury. I remember back in 2000, regular radio guy got appendicitis, and I got my crack overnight. Wait, that's my line from Die Hard 2. I don't think that's not how it happened at all. How do you guys feel about naming lines? So you got Art, and we're going to get to Foxy in a minute. He's standing by. So you got Artie Kaliev, Adrian Kempe, and Andrzej Kopitar. You could go Special K. You could go Triple A or the A team, or being former players, you could say, Patrick, shut up. We don't like any of it.
A killer line. I don't know.
I'm with the latter, Patrick. On with the show.
The fans love naming lines, and these former players.
The fans do. You love it.
They
See,
don't.
look at this guy's face right now.
Jim Fox standing by. You know what? Fine, Foxy. They don't want to play. No snap, crackle, pop, even though that's Rice Krispies is not special. Okay. Artie Kaliev is getting a great opportunity. What makes this moment for Artie Kaliev now, Foxy, different than earlier? Why is he ready for it?
Well, I think, first of all, people are expecting him to stay with the Kopitar line along with Kempe. Early on, it was kind of more of an experiment, right? Just see an audition. Now I think the expectations have risen. And you know what? Artie deserves a lot of the credit for that, because I think everyone knew he would get up to speed as far as the pace of the National Hockey League. I think he's gotten there quicker than I expected, and that's very important to me. This was in Dallas. You see him create his own space there by backing off. It was Pavelski, a forward playing, and he takes the puck to the inside. Of course, this is going to keep him in the NHL. The shot, that's what he's known for. But he's found ways to get to tougher areas. He's found ways to find a little bit more open space. I think the biggest difference in his game right now compared to earlier in the year, he had to find the space. Right now, he's finding it because he's creating that space. He's up to top speed. He's doing it that way. I think that's a huge, huge difference. Now, when you talk to Artie, the first thing out of his mouth is always, you know what, guys? I've got to worry about my defensive game. I got to be strong on the wall. I got to take care of those types of things. His 50-50 battle improvement is another improvement that he's made, and he's just taken huge, huge leaps in that area. So, again, I think, in my mind, when I watched Artie the first time, yeah, he's going to be an NHL player. He has that shot. He has grown and developed faster than I expected, because skating's not his strength. Looking forward to next year, I expect him to get even lighter. I expect him to even improve on his fitness, where he's come a long way this year. It's very difficult to do improving fitness when the season's already started.
Foxy, at the start of that piece, you said maybe he wasn't expected to stay with the Kopitar line early on in the season, and now he maybe does. So I just think the coaching staff, they didn't 100% maybe trust him at the start of the year. You talked about the wall play, the defensive side of the puck, and now I think he has their full trust. And then the importance of that 2-goal game in Dallas, I thought was huge. You know, you get a young player, a goal scorer, you know, maybe he scores, you know, 1 goal here, 1 goal there, and then all of a sudden he gets a 2-goal game, his first 2-goal game of his career, and he realizes that he just took over a game and he could possibly dominate a game. He should have had a hat trick right after that second goal. He had an empty net. It was kind of a tough angle, but, you know, for him, maybe just mentally realizing that, hey, I can make a pretty big dent in a hockey game here by scoring a couple. So, no, it's great to see the progress of Artie Kaliev this year.
That play we saw in Dallas, he created it by solid defense back in the Kings zone. Stick on puck, go the other way. And in Boston the other night, again, he entered the zone at least 3 times with his own speed, backing off the other team. That's a huge improvement.
All right, Jim, have a great call with Alex Faust up there. Catch up with you later.
All right, guys, thanks.
Choppy, let me get your take on Artie up there at the top line.
I think what he does is he brings Kings an element that they've lacked up front for a number of years, and that's the ability to be able to score from the perimeter with the shot that he has. He's now generating enough speed behind his play to get into those high-scoring areas, and he's got a great shot. So a couple of those goals that we see him score from outside, that's something that the Kings have been welcoming.
You know, Stoley, you know how you say you should have had that hat trick against Dallas? That's what people say about you, that you should have had that hat trick and you snapped your stick. Remember that?
Yeah. Man, I was having a good show here, man.
That's just saying, that's what people are talking about behind the scenes. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Jordan Spence interview. Our Carlin Bathe has that. What a moment for Jordan and his family. Last player to wear 53 for the Kings, boys. Think about it.
Artie Martinez.